Hey, good morning, coaches. Welcome to another edition of Talking Football with Coach McKie. I'm your host, Coach McKie. And what we're going to go over today is we're actually going to go over a quick game concept from the run and shoot. Now, I think this is called Houston. Don't get me wrong, but is it a 3x1 quick game? I am going live on Facebook and on YouTube. So if this sounds good, please give it a thumbs up. If you have someone you want to tag to get in on this conversation, please go ahead and do this. And let me know where you're calling in from. How are y'all doing? Where are you calling in from and everything like that? And also, if you're listening to this as a podcast later on, if you go to my website, ronmackeyfootball.com, it'll be one of the podcasts that are up there as well. So as coaches are coming in, again, what I want to talk about is a simple, quick game concept from the run and shoot playbook that is actually really good. And if you run anything from the run and shoot, I would actually put this in. It's really not that much difficulty, or it's really not that difficult to teach your kids what to do. You don't have a seam read or anything like that. It's similar to the stick concept in the air raid. So we've got Coach Workman, what's going on? We got people from Sweden, Coach Gary from Connecticut, what's up? Thank you so much. And again, I am Coach Ron McKie. If you're watching on Facebook, welcome. This is the Facebook camera. How you doing? Give me a thumbs up if it sounds good. If you're watching on YouTube, please, if you like this kind of content and everything like that, down below is a subscribe button. Click it. There's a bell right off to the side. Click that. It'll let you know when I go live and everything like that. So let's get into it. Okay, so the run and shoot, if you haven't seen it already, it's back, baby. It's in the XFL. Coach June Jones is dominating. I love it. It's one of the few times he actually has the athletes on par with everybody else, and you can see how that scheme is really working. They put 30-something points up and everything like that. So one of the cool things that I really love is the quick game concept. And this quick game concept is kind of like the air raid stick concept. If you haven't seen it, search my videos on YouTube and in Facebook, you know I've talked about it. But it is similar. So what it is we're a 3x1 set. This guy right here, the L, really doesn't matter what he is doing. It happens up here. So I'm going to draw it against a normal two high defense. And the great thing about this concept, it works against two high, one high, man, blitz, all of that. Go like this real quick. They usually put apex defender. That's what you see, right? So what this is, I think it's Houston. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. But outside release vertical, just like you would in the stick concept, but the magic's between these two. They're running a 3-step speed out. He always has the speed out, the second guy. Okay, coach is getting me. That's awesome, coach. He always has a 3-step out. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, you got a 3x1. Number 1, closest to the sideline, runs an outside release vertical. Number 2 runs a 3-step speed out. He is always running the speed out. Number 3 is running a speed out, but there's a caveat. This one kind of has the read. He's reading the apex defender. If that apex defender flies out and it's straight up, zone coverage, then he can do a speed out and kind of sit in that grass area and find things. That's what he wants to do. If it's man-to-man, and I'll draw that up in a minute, he keeps going. Now, what is the quarterback doing? Well, the beautiful thing about the run and shoot is the footwork of the quarterback. You may think if you're on the left hash and you're throwing this out to the right hash, that's a distance. Your quarterback can't get it. He don't know what the fuck he's doing, pardon my French. He doesn't have the arm. It's a noodle. But with the way they half roll, so this would be a 3-step half roll to the right, 1, 2, 3. You're now going in that direction, so it's an easier throw for your quarterback. And that is a beautiful thing. And the more and more I watch it, I was at practice and I watch the games, the more I like that, because you're allowing your quarterback to move in the direction that you're throwing the ball, and it's an easier throw. It's not one of those old school sprint outs. It's just a 1, 2, 3, and then I throw it in that direction. And he's reading the apex guy. And it's really simple. If he goes out, I throw in. If he stays in, I throw out, just like in the stick concept. All right? So any questions so far on too high? I know I'm saying all right a lot. I need to stop doing that. Right? Essentially, yeah, Coach Iron on Facebook, it is the stick concept. And the beautiful thing about this is if you go back and watch a highlight of the XFL, one of the touchdowns that they scored, they paired it with their version of stick and a slow running back screen. So you can do the same thing. It was a freaking thing of beauty. Well, Coach, what happens if this apex defender is now over number 3, and he's covering number 3. Well, it's the same concept. If he stays in, I throw out. So you're making them pick their poison. Okay? That's great, Coach. I love that, everything about that. What happens if they spin down? Like that. Well, now if it's man-to-man, they're both going in a 3-step out. So hopefully which guy is better? You pick the matchup. You pick the matchup. Is the read progression similar or same to the stick? It is. If he goes in, I throw out. If he stays out, I throw in. It's that simple. And you can do a lot of different things with this. You can pair up slow screens. You can pair it up with tunnel screens. You can pair it up with swing screens. You can do the same thing that you see the air raid teams do and the spread teams do. But now, I like this better because it is attacking the defense. Instead of one guy running the stick and one guy running the flat, and they can kind of pass it off, you now have someone both attacking that flat, and that it puts more pressure on the defense, which I love, especially in this day and age with their kind of fancy run and shoot defensive packages. That's what the matchup stuff is, the lip riz, whatever the hell they call it. It's essentially run and shoot for defense, but you don't see people complaining about that. Coach Lauer, we call it sprint steal because you are stealing yards. That's exactly right. You are. And this is something easy you can install right off the bat, and things do that. All right? So I just wanted to jump on here real quick. Thank y'all for being a part of this. If there's anything you want me to talk about, again, like this, I've really been diving deep into the run and shoot and things of that nature, again, because it's in the XFL, and I love that we have football now instead of boring baseball. If there's baseball coaches, I'm sorry, but like a comedian I once heard said, baseball is American soccer. It is boring, and I can't stand this time of year, but I can now because of the XFL. So thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate it. What if they go cover 3? If they go cover 3, Coach, you essentially find grass. So if he goes here and he's got the flat and this backer's right here, well, this guy has some grass right in that area. And also, I'm going to be honest, guys, if defenses actually do stuff. So if they do stuff like this and they got these covered, if they go man over man on this, well, then you have to hit the then statement. So if they take this away, then they're giving something up back here. You can do a slow running back screen like that. Who's got this guy? You could run, your choice concept and come back this way and then run choice. So you got to get out of the habit of, okay, if I call this and then all of a sudden it has to have an answer for everything. No, if they do this, then you got to come back with something else. That's the chess match of offense and defense. But great question, Coach. I may have missed it, but did you ever go over 6 out of trips? I haven't. I'm going to go over that in a little bit, Coach. I'm going to go over divide concept, which is a run and shoot for verts package from trips. I think it's unbelievable, and it really messes with defenses. So I'm going to do that later on. Coach, good stuff. Thanks, Coach. Is this only out of 3x1? Yes, sir, it is. Only out of 3x1 that I know of. Over Facebook, no. Is the reprogression? You already got that. High fives and butt slaps. That's what I'm talking about, Coach Brent, Central Florida. All right. So, hey, coaches, again, thank you so much for this quick video. Also, if you're watching this in live right now or later on today, I am going to have a live Facebook group interview with Coach Dan Casey. He's one of the 30 under 35 coaches. He has an amazing social media account. So if you want to be on that live call where you can ask him questions and everything like that, you got to be on the part of the Facebook group. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, look in the description. There's a link you can click. And until next time, coaches, let's continue to mash the spread, score points, and have fun. I appreciate y'all. Let me do that.